Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great joy, all of my colleagues, on behalf of the Trondheim Symfoniorkester, and I would like to warmly welcome you to the concert this evening. It's wonderful to have you join us on another extraordinary and epic journey, thanks to the music of Ludwig van Beethoven. Beethoven, as some of you may already know, is my great passion. Beethoven is the reason I got the courage, the obsession, deepest desire to become a conductor. His symphonies opened my eyes. I heard his voice whilst reading the pages of his symphonies. He's the reason I'm standing here in front of you today. Tonight, the fifth and the sixth symphonies, perhaps two of the most famous works in all classical music canon, two of the most loved symphonies. They were written around the same time by Beethoven, and they couldn't be more different. We open with the Pastoral Symphony, Symphony number 6, which Beethoven, I think if he had grandchildren, I think this is the music that he would have written for his grandchildren as a bedtime story. Beethoven deals with his surroundings, and we know from his letters that this gave him a lot of sorrow, actually, because when his companions could hear the distant pipe, shepherd's pipe, or birds singing, Beethoven himself could not hear anything. And this gave him so much sorrow, because he would write, how can I say, a composer, that I cannot hear the sounds of nature? So the Pastoral puts Beethoven in a setting in the countryside where he's dealing with the environment outside of his mind. But with what joy and genuine happiness he portrays the feelings, he expresses the feelings that he gets from nature. The first movement to me is like an introduction, where he arrives in the countryside, out in the open nature, and you hear the joy, the excitement, and the anticipation, because he knows that his spirit will be revived and nourished and enriched by the nature. You know it so well living in beautiful Norway, how much nature, how much energy it gives you. And second movement, by the brook, it's not about the water, it's not about the fish in the water, but you feel the refreshment that he gets from nature. Third movement, the joys of simple gathering, sharing life and food and drink, probably, with your neighbors, with your brothers, with humanity. And then suddenly we have a huge storm in the fourth movement. And livestock is in danger. Your roofs may be flying. It's a huge storm. But he survives. They survive, and the symphony ends with a thanksgiving that just overflows with gratitude for everything that we're allowed to have, and for this life, and for the beauty of the world that we live in. So, unlike other Beethoven symphonies, the Pastoral does not have a great struggle, and he's trying to overcome a problem and be victorious. No, rather, it's a simple song of love, of gratitude, and of joys of living on this planet. It's truly wonderful. It warms our hearts so much when we play this beautiful music, and I hope it will give you all the refreshment and nourishment that Beethoven had from nature in Olavshallen. I hope to make meadows and mountains and, birds singing and share that with you. After the intermission, we will play the fifth symphony. And this symphony deals with the great turmoil that Beethoven had in himself, the titanic struggle that was not once in a lifetime, but he had to go through it every single day as a human being and as a creator of music, living with the loss of his hearing. How do you do this? It's like painting without eyesight. How do you do it? And the first movement, perhaps the most famous music ever written in the history of humanity, presents his struggle, and really with such passion and in the midst of so much turmoil, such fragility of his predicament. You know, what this is like for him. And from here, he proceeds in the most amazing journey, so that by the end of the symphony, as expressed in the brilliant, blinding, glorious, the brightest, and the most joyous C major ever written in the history of humanity again, a true, genuine, well-fought, well-deserved victory. And as you know, ladies and gentlemen, many composers have dealt with the idea or the problem of fate, where life throws at you a seemingly, a problem that you just cannot overcome. Take Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky 4 or 5, those symphonies, we know it's a fake happy ending. He himself says so. I'll just give up. I'll pretend to be happy. I'll just try to be happy through other people. Mahler, we also know, he was totally crushed by weight of fate in the 6th symphony, the 3 hammer blows. That knocked him out. I mean, what kind of inner strength did you have, Beethoven, that you, of all the composers, you with the greatest and deepest sorrow and struggle, that you actually managed to get real, genuine victory? The strength of his spirit, the perseverance, the belief in his vision, what he wanted to be, and his never-ending struggle to get there, his striving to get there, get to his dreams. He said he wishes to write better music every day. He wishes to be a better composer. He wants to write good music as long as he's alive. He wants to be faithful to the great talent that he had in himself. How did you get this strength, Beethoven? And in a way, I think, easy for me to say, but I think it's because he did not have this outward hearing, that he was so strong inside with his inner hearing. And this is the most extraordinary thing for me about Beethoven and tonight's program that we're thrilled to play for you and share with you. How one person, among so many persons living on this planet who've lived, how this one man's spirit created and contributed to the generations and generations and generations of human beings, humanity, to today, 2023, that he should move our hearts so much and give us so much joy and courage, that he should be so much inspiration. Just one person. Think about it. And how many of us are here today? I mean, what we can do individually to move each other, to inspire each other, it's just limitless, I think. And Beethoven is the ultimate, highest example of what a human spirit can do. So I hope that his music brings you as much joy as it has given me, as it has given our colleagues this week. I hope you enjoy this feast of extraordinary music from Beethoven. Thank you.